Hi, I'm Frances and welcome to my channel. I just wanted to make a video today, not really a review of her books or of a certain book, but I wanted to make a video and talk about Patricia Highsmith and my absolute love for her. I have just finished another one of her masterpieces, This Sweet Sickness. And like I said, not really so much a review because I feel like people on Goodreads give way better reviews. I sort of feel intimidated sometimes with giving a review. I also wanted to say I have a friend who's a great writer. Her name's Julia, and I am going to review her books because they're incredible. But then I feel intimidated, especially when doing it for a friend. But anyway, back to Patricia Highsmith, who I would say that I know for a fact, the first book that I read of hers was The Talented Mr. Ripley. And I read it about 8 years ago. And then a few years ago, I reread it and I love that book. And I got the other Ripley books. I'm also, besides talking about my love for her, I've also put the books of hers that I hated. And I read the other Ripley books. They were okay. This one, I hate so much I can hardly get through it. So she's a genius. She's an amazing writer. I don't know why I don't like this book at all, The Boy Who Followed Ripley. What I often do is I just moved on to the other Ripley books and finished them. They were quite good. This one I just don't like. I guess I got about halfway through, and what I usually do when I can't get through a book is I will just set it aside, go read something else, and then come back to it. Sometimes maybe even a year or two later, I will finish it. I just don't have it in me right now to finish it. Yes, I want to talk about my love for her, but I also wanted to talk about the books of hers. And there aren't many. I have all of her books except for, I think maybe she has a children's book. I don't have that. And I don't have, I think it's called People Who Knock at the Door. I need to order that one. But I have everything else, even her diaries and notebooks, which I have not finished. I'm going through that at random in my, between books, or just whenever I feel like picking it up and reading it, and it's quite good. But anyway, yeah, I also want to talk about this. I love her. She's a genius, and I love her books so much. But I did want to talk about the ones that I don't like. I don't like this one. This is so boring. Found in the Street. And I know someone is going to be found in the street, but I haven't even got there yet. I'm about, what am I? I'm about 70% through this book, and it just drags. Even though I love you, Patricia, this book just drags. And again, I'll get back to it. I don't know when. And the only other book that I hated, surprisingly, because it has great reviews, I guess I'm about 70% through this one also, is The Price of Salt, or Carol. And it's boring and it's dragging. And in fact, I was actually reading this book and I kept picking it up. I kept saying, I hate it. I can't keep going, which made me pick up this book. And it renewed my love and faith in Patricia Highsmith. And gosh, this book was incredible. I finished it last night. Other favorites of mine of hers, The Cry of the Owl. And the thing is, too, these books are very sort of similar. They have to do with obsession, stalking, voyeurism, sort of like disturbed individuals, as a lot of her books do. This probably, I think, okay, here's my favorite book, which is Edith's Diary. I think this is my absolute favorite. I love Cliffy, her son, so much. I love Edith's Diary. This little masterpiece, and The Cry of the Owl is probably my second favorite book. It's a masterpiece. I love Tremor of Forgery. I'm trying to think. There are others, but I have them on my bookshelf. These are just my absolute favorites. And like I said, this was so much fun. This was such a fun read. Um, Wonderful. But I also wanted to say that I got this documentary, and I don't know how I feel about this documentary. It's kind of strange. From what I have read and what I know about her, she didn't spend much time in Texas. I think she was out of Texas by the age of 6. And yet they kept cutting to rodeos and bulls and rodeo clowns. And I was just like, it's kind of odd because I don't think she spent a lot of time in Texas, and there was a lot of focus on Texas in this documentary. And I sort of wanted it to be more about her writing process and her life, actual life. And anyway, so I kind of felt like this documentary was not so great. I kind of felt like it sort of glossed over. And then also, I want to say about her diaries and notebooks. I'm very much enjoying this, and but I will say that I was sort of surprised because I at one time was a huge Sylvia Plath fan, and I read her journals, which are so descriptive, so much about writing, so much. I felt like more of Patricia's diaries and notebooks focused more on her social life and girls that she's dating and things like that. But then again, I'm not finished, so we'll see. But boy, did she get around. Boy, did she get around. I love her. But yes, I just wanted to just make a quick video and say, I love you, Patricia Highsmith, and I am having so much fun going through her books. I still have, I don't know, I think maybe 5 or 6 to go. And yeah, not a review exactly, but I have had such a great time discovering this writer in the last couple of years. And yeah, this was my absolute favorite, Edith's Diary. And I'm trying to think, what do I have to read? I have to still read Deep Water, I think, is one. I can't really remember. Let me see if there's a list of her books on here. I have Deep Water. Oh, The Blunderer. I love that book too. I didn't bring that in here. That was another one that was very similar to this one, and The Cry of the Owl. Again, you know, obsession, voyeurism. The Blunderer, I forgot about that. That was a great book too. So what I have to read is Deep Water. Let's see. Those Who Walk Away. I have that. I have not read that one. I don't have A Dog's Ransom and People Who Knock on the Door. Yes. But I have her short stories, and I've read a few of those, and one of them, I think it was called Not One of Us, was so creepy and disturbing. But I find it odd. That was another thing I didn't like about this documentary. I sort of felt like they showed an interview that she had. I forget the woman's name. I've seen the interview. It was, I think, when she was living in Switzerland, and she had an interview with this lady who you could tell very much was impressed by her. She should have been, and liked her books and sort of understood her as a writer. But they kind of chopped it up to show the woman asking her questions and kind of looking horrified at her responses, which is not how that interview went. And what I was going to say is I found it odd. I saw a lot of things sort of saying that for her to write these kinds of books, was she a sociopath, or how could she understand a sociopath? And I just thought that was very odd, because just because she could write disturbing things doesn't mean that she herself is necessarily screwed up. Everyone's screwed up. Everyone is screwed up. So, but anyway. Okay, so that's that. I love you, Patricia Highsmith, and I just wanted to talk a bit about her. That's all. Goodbye.